Hello, this is Emily Davis doing a video on the Ember JS framework for front-end web designs for Full Sail. Ember is another framework to use with JavaScript. However, it's been around longer than Angular and just can't do everything it needs to do. It's not as up to date as Angular is. It's getting there, but it still needs some work. It's Angular and Ember is kind of like the debate between Google and Apple. We all have our preferences and reasons why we like them. These frameworks are no different. The developer of Ember was actually, or the development of Ember was taken over by Apple shortly after it was created, whereas the development for Angular is run by Google. So we truly have an Apple versus Google debate here. Angular is more popular and has more support from the community, but there's still a great deal of support and tutorials for Ember on YouTube and Stack Overflow as well as GitHub. This is the site to download Ember. Here we can see everything that it can do. It uses handlebar templates the most. I'll just scroll down here. You can kind of see what it can do. You're probably familiar with it by now too. Here's our components, and here we can load data from a server. There's the HTML for that. Here's the routing. Quite a few different tabs there. This is just an article I found, talking about Ember. It essentially just lays out, what it can do. It does just about everything that Angular can, just a more basic version of it. Not as basic as, what was the other one? Not as basic as Backbone, but it's still, more basic than Angular. In the argument on speed, Angular is actually faster than Ember because of how the files are loaded. Angular is all one file. Ember still requires a couple of different templates and handlebars and jQuery to function properly, whereas Backbone and a few other frameworks require more downloads. Ember uses the handlebars template engine, and in the very near future, hopefully, it will be able to use HTML bars template engine. It's still in the works, and I'm not sure when it's supposed to be released yet. Ember does favor convention over configuration. As we can see here, here's the stats on. Oh, sorry. I've been up since like 8 a.m. It's been a long day for me. The stats on, how big the community is, and the trending reports, the Google trend report for the 3 different frameworks. I keep yawning, I'm sorry. This compares the framework size that I was talking about earlier and the templating. Here's essentially what Ember is. It uses the Mustache templating engine currently. Anyway, Ember Ember does favor convention over configuration, so it's going to be easier to use, and you can get the job done quicker with it. There's less code. It can also infer quite a few things before you've even typed it, so that you don't have to spend so much time, reinventing the wheel per se. It can automatically determine the name of the route and the controller when defining a route or source. It can even automatically create the controller for the resource if you don't already define one. It does integrate really well with Ruby on Rails, which is very popular in the web design world right now. It's just very simple, very basic. Still lots of support, but not as much as Angular, of course. Unfortunately, Ember's API has become so outdated that many of the tutorials and examples found online won't work anymore, making it very confusing for new Ember users. However, once HTML bars becomes available for Ember, it will fix the biggest problem of the DOM being overloaded with script tags and breaking the CSS styling. So, to keep the metaphor, Ember is Apple, Angular is Google, and Backbone, though I never mentioned it really, could be BlackBerry, or worse, Palm. Whatever happened to Palm Pilots?